Hi guys, JTest ASMR here, and tonight I'm doing a requested video, my top 5 favourite movies. I had trouble doing this because there's hundreds of movies that I really like, but I thought I would just try and get top 5 that I think are, quite up top. So I've taken screenshots of them all, and I'm going to show you what each one. So a film I used to watch for hundreds of times. It's an 18, and I used to watch it a long time before I was 18. I don't know if you've ever heard of it or if you've ever seen it. Older people will realise this one. Robocop. Cyborg. Half man, half machine. The guy who plays him is a guy. The actual actor is called Peter Weller. But his character is Alex Murphy, and basically him and his partner go out on a certain call out, and basically he ends up getting shot to pieces and shot dead before Lewis could get to him. And Lewis is his partner. Lewis is a she, but anyway, he gets pronounced dead, but they turn him into a cyborg and they try and erase his memory, although they don't do it perfectly, and he remembers little bits and pieces, and he starts remembering when he was a human. So obviously he kind of accepts that nothing can change. He is who he is, and he goes out. He sets out to basically kill the people who killed him, which is a guy called Clarence Bodiger and his gang of cronies. And he ends up killing them all, killing the chief of the gang. And it's a bit of a sad story really, because he knows he has family, and he actually says in the part, "I can feel them, but I can't remember them," which is pretty sad really. But it's he gets reunited with Lewis and their partners. So Lewis and Robocop are like a thing, and I think it was like Robocop 1, 2, and 3. I think 3 did not get a good rating at all. 3 was a 15, and I must admit I watched it twice, and it wasn't great. Number 3 was not great, but number 1 and number 2 was really good. But yeah, like I said, I watched that years before I was 18. And I mean, I must have been about fucking, I don't know, 10, 11, something like that. And I'm watching some of the fucked up shit in that movie, and there is some really fucked up shit. I think the worst part about it was one of the gang members, he's got like a great big kind of people carrier, and he's driving at Robocop, and he says, "Oh, okay, now I got you," and he tries to, Robocop gets his gun out, tries to shoot him, it goes through the window screen, so Robocop just quickly moves out the way, and the whole thing, this whole carriage went bang into toxic waste. Well then, as soon as it hit that, all the doors, like all the back doors and stuff, just exploded with all this literally toxic waste. It was like fucking water. It flew out like a river. All this toxic fucking waste. And the guy, I think he called it, oh god, Anil or something like that. Anyway, he comes flying out of the back of the van as well, melting. All his hair had been melted, his skin had been melted, everything. And he comes out, and you see the beginning of him. His fingers are dangling off, and he's literally like walking like a fucking zombie. Go, help me! It's really fucking. An 11-year-old watching that fucking had to give me nightmares for fucking weeks. But it was really quite an amazing film. So if you haven't seen Robocop and you're not, squeamish about, blood and some really fucked up shit, give it a go. But I used to like that film. Onto a happier note, a funnier note, Transporter with Jason Statham. I mean, Jason Statham done some really good films, really good films, but the Transporter, the Transporter and the Transporter 2, was really great. I think it was 3 Transporter films, and I thought all 3 were great. Really did. They just really, action all the way. I love action. But what I like about it is it's not just action, it's got a proper storyline to it, and I really like it. And like I said, I like Jason Statham films anyway. I say it's an action thriller. It's a lot more recent than Robocop. Those 2002, I think it was, first one. So yeah, I really recommend that you check out the Transporter. Onto a much funnier note. American Pie. Gotta love American Pie. 1999, that film. American Pie 1, 2, 3. I think I can't actually remember how many there is. I think there was loads of them. But yeah, American Pie. So funny. And what I also like about American Pie is I'm into all my heavy metal, punk, all that sort of stuff. I just don't dress like it anymore. But so much beauty, like, I like Blink-182. Anyone who knows me knows I like Blink-182, and they play a lot of Blink-182 on this film as well. So it's like quite a lot of my favourite music on there. It's not just Blink-182, there's all sorts, but there's that comedy. I don't know anyone who doesn't like American Pie. But if you have been living under a rock for God knows how many years and you haven't tried American Pie, give it a go. It's funny as hell. Going back to Jason Statham again, this film Crank, hell of a film. We see this is 2006, another action thriller. we see a very darker side of Jason Statham in this film. Um, I mean, I'm not going to ruin the whole film for you, but right at the end, he appears to die, but he doesn't. He couldn't have done, because there's then a Crank 2. It's the same guy. It's the same character. Like I say, I'm not going to ruin the whole lot. You need to watch it for yourself. But it's about an hour and 23 minutes long, and it's an 18, yeah. But I mean, I think all of Jason Statham films are action thriller. They rate it 4.7 out of 5. Crank. I mean, personally think it's deserves higher than that, because a well thought of storyline, really brilliant film. So you need to see that. Crank. And then once you've watched that, watch Crank 2. You'll see what I mean. And finally, now I know a few people are going to be a bit like, "Oh, you're joking." I know there's a lot of people that don't like Steven Seagal anymore. A lot of people are like, he's just he's this, he's that. He's been in a bit of trouble and this and that. But if we're talking about films and stuff, I mean, Steven Seagal did hundreds upon hundreds of films. But one that really stuck out to me was this one, A Dangerous Man. And like I say, I know a hell of a lot of people are like a bit like Steven Seagal, but I'm almost like that, but I'm kind of like looking at it more from his films point of view. And A Dangerous Man, basically he was put in prison for a crime he didn't commit. Anyway, he finally gets out after years and years, and then all of a sudden he gets in trouble again. And this girl was saying that her uncle's been kidnapped by this drug gang, and basically they're all martial artists. They're all like smugglers and shit. Anyway, Steven Seagal sets out to take these people out of action and get this girl's uncle back. Along the way, he recruits like a Russian mafia to help him out. Because obviously he's only one man. But they toast 2 vodkas together and say, "Oh, you're now my brother." And they take the shot of vodka, and I think that's a sign of. I mean, I'm not actually sure what is what, but I think if you say you're my brother and you clunk a bit of vodka and you both knock it back, I think that's a sign of you're my friend for life or something like that. Anyway, he recruits this Russian mafia and basically takes them all out and gets the uncle back. But like I say, it's not a really thought out story, but I like the acting, and I respect Seagal for the amount of films he's made, for his acting career. He's worth a bomb. He's also a seventh Dan black belt. Is it in it's another form of karate, and I forget what they call it. Is it Aikandai or something like that? I forget what they call it. But I mean, seventh Dan. I mean, fuck, that's like a fucking grandmaster. Yeah, I don't think you can get much better than that. Um, but yeah, like I said, the person himself, he seems like a little bit up his own arse, because I've seen interviews and shit like that. But from his film point of view, I kind of do like these films. I'm not going to diss him for his films, just as a human being. But that's not for me to judge. That's for everyone to have their own opinion of these actors. It's not for me to judge. But yeah, so A Dangerous Man with Steven Seagal. Okay, guys, that was my favourite 5 films. Well, I say 5 of my favourite films. If you could do me a favour, if you could join, that would be the best thing out of the whole lot. If you could subscribe, give me a like, give me a comment, and share with your friends, family, colleagues, acquaintances. That would be fantastic. That would really help me out and do me a world of good. And again, I'd like to thank you for joining me for this video. If you do have any requests, don't forget to pop them down in the box below. And yeah, guys, so make sure you take care of yourselves and each other, and I'll see you soon with another video. Until then, ciao for now, guys. Mwah.